I am truly honored to be able to have the opportunity to speak with you today, particularly on the topic of growing the dream. On this weekend, when we celebrate a drum major for justice, on this weekend, when we celebrate a leader of moral conscience, on this weekend, in the wake of continued violence in our community, we have come together to celebrate a champion of peace and nonviolence. Gatherings like this are a source of pride for our community because they remind us how far we have come, how much we've overcome, and how it is we've overcome it. Gatherings like these remind us of dreams both realized and unrealized. But above all, events like this remind us of the importance of a value that has sustained us through the journey of our people. That value is our sense of aspiration. Now, to be clear, aspiration is so much more than just a dream. The definition of aspiration is not just the hope of achievement. Instead, it goes to something much more elemental than that. Aspiration is more plainly and accurately defined as the action of drawing breath. Drawing breath. Which is to say that without our sense of aspiration, we do not survive. Without our sense of aspiration, we die. For me, as a child growing up in South Alabama, the cradle of the civil rights movement, aspiration was demonstrated by the items taped on my wall in my bedroom. That aspiration was demonstrated in college pennants from historically black colleges and universities, as well as predominantly white institutions alike. It told me that higher education of any shade could be in my grasp. Aspiration was in a photo of Thurgood Marshall taped on that wall. It was meant to remind me that with applied will, the laws originally designed to hold me back could be amended to lift me up. It was in the photos of Mae Jemison and Ronald McNair, astronauts, that reminded me that even the outer limits of the sky were within my reach. Now, upon reflection, I don't think that my parents posted these things on my wall as a mere demonstration of what I could achieve. I think it was bigger than that. I think it was a demonstration that no matter where I came from, I had a tomorrow to look forward to. They knew the importance of a promise of tomorrow. They knew that that promise was an instrument of that very thing that has sustained our people for generations, that sense of aspiration. They knew that aspiration was a way for their child to draw breath and have life. And that has been the story of our people, hasn't it? Aspiration of freedom brought us through slavery. Aspiration of full citizenship sustained us through almost a century of American apartheid. Aspiration has nurtured us at every single obstacle presented to us through the history of this nation. But let us not be confused, because aspiration is not simply empty goal seeking. It's about effort. But what's more, it's about where to apply that effort for maximum advancement. It's about work, and it's about where to apply that work for maximum advancement. Aspiration is wholeheartedly about having a sense of purpose, having a sense of direction. That direction has been, and will continue to make us ready to face every challenge. So as we face streets that are increasingly violent, we cannot lose our sense of aspiration to do better by one another. As we face a society that is increasingly less civil, We cannot lose our sense of aspiration towards generosity and love. As we face a community condition where the disparity between rich and poor is more troubling than ever, we cannot lose our sense of aspiration, extending one hand with charity and the other hand with justice. As we exist in a society where we have surely neglected our neighbors, the victimized, the abused, the addicted, the ex-offender, the mentally ill, we cannot lose our sense of aspiration to serve one another, to give love to one another. The good news is that we have all been invited, as we always have, to join in a common aspiration together. Ms. Coleman gave you a little bit of a quote from Dr. King. I'm going to give a little bit more of that same quote. Anyone can be great because anyone can serve. You don't have to have your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. All you need is a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. From this kind of aspiration, we draw breath together. From this kind of aspiration and this kind of focus, we can live and we can promise a tomorrow to our children. God bless you all, and thank you for having me here today.